Okay, let's get started. So we're discussing about branching concepts in Git, right? So as we know, this is our Git remote repository. And as we discussed in the last class, whenever we create a repository, this is a remote repository. We create it in, say, GitHub, right? So the moment you create a Git repository, by default, you get a branch with name master, correct? Master is a default branch. And code goes inside the branch, for example, login.java. The repository name is cycult63, right? And this is a user, for example. So when we clone the code, we get a remote repository. This is .git. This is a source area. And then staging area, source, stage, then you have .git, correct? So in remote repository, we have master branch. So when we clone, we also get master branch in our laptop, right? This is your local, sorry. This is master branch. .git is local repository, we know that. See here we have some code. There is one file, say for example, you get this file here. That's how it works. And I also explained why we go with the branches, right? So as we know, this is a master, for example, master branch, default branch. So you have 100 developers. We don't allow developers to directly modify the code in master. Instead, what we do, we create a new branch, correct? So when you create a new branch, what will happen? If you have 10,000 files here, you get 10,000 files in your new branch. This branch name is, say, for example, dev_1.2.3, some name, okay? Say you have login.java here, cm login.java comes here, and then your development teams can do anything here. They work in day 1, 2, 3, right? They modify the code in 1, 2, 3. They're modifying the code means they are doing some experiment here. So they will, commit, bug fix code, feature development, and things like that. And then once they are done with their work, then what do? We test this code. If this code is working fine, then we merge the code back to the master. So that way you make sure that master is always getting stable code. And we need to have at least one stable copy for your performance testing or system integration testing and so on, correct? So that is the reason we go with the branching concept. Clear with this? When we create a new branch. Okay. Let's see how people drive the releases in any project, usually, okay, ideally. For example, Flipkart team has some code, okay? They have some code. So they want to, enhance, they have to, they want to develop some enhancements. They want to develop some features, some things like that. So this is how they plan their, new releases. Means, say for example, you go to Flipkart. Probably Flipkart CTO, Chief Technology Officer, sales team, maybe Flipkart marketing teams, development teams, or QA teams. So mostly business teams, people who are dealing with businesses, and then along with them technical team also. They usually join in a conference call. 1 second. So usually these people join in a conference call. As much this is a con call. So they all join this conference call to discuss what needs to be developed in next 2 months, say, for example. What needs to be developed in next 2 months. So you call it as release plan meeting. What is it? Release plan meeting, or depends on the organization. So they all come in the meeting and they discuss. For example, CTO comes and says, our competitor is coming up with a drone delivery feature, right? A drone flies to the warehouse and picks the order and drops at customer's place. Fastest delivery. So we have to introduce drone delivery feature. Similarly, all these team members analyze, what features need to be developed in next 2 months. They discuss. Assume that they finalize, 10 new features. How many new features? 10 new features. They say in next 2 months, we have to develop, 10 new features. For example, Flipkart wants to get into quick commerce. That's kind of a buzzword these days, right? Quick commerce means fastest delivery in 5-10 minutes. Almost, all marketplaces these days are adopting that, style of business. So this CTO says, we have to develop, quick commerce and things like that. Some features, okay? Don't worry about that. And they also finalize what bugs need to be fixed in next 2 months. Any software you take, there will be some bugs, some issues, correct? For example, salesperson comes and says, so when customers, place orders, return, okay, for return. So before they accept the returns, they have to check, say, for example, right, whether the product is purchased from Flipkart or not. Without checking, they cannot just accept the returns, right? For example. So salesperson says, when I go to some internal portal, and sometimes it won't, show the customer orders. So I don't know, right? There is no confirmation whether the customer purchased the product from us only or not. So there is some issue in the system. Likewise, they, identify some bugs in the application or software. Say, for example, they identify 20 bugs that needs to be addressed immediately. See, there will be a lot of issues, but you cannot fix all those issues overnight, right? You need some time, correct? So they prioritize issues that need to be addressed, that need to be fixed in 2 months. That's how they plan the release. You call it as a release, correct? That means in next 2 months, these are the enhancements that they want to develop. You take Android, iOS or anything, any software, you must be getting some updates, right? So what's happening there? You're written some new features, some, cool UI changes, some look and feel, things like that. So in software also, people meet like this, and then they plan what needs to be developed in next, 2 months. And then now they also, fix the timeline, right? What is it? 2 months. 2 months is the release time. In 2 months, no matter what, these features and bug fixes have to be completed. So once they, come up with this plan, the release plan, right? Then they start development. Okay. Then they send an email to DevOps team saying, hello, DevOps team. Right? Assume that they have master, some stable code, right? Now they have to work on the new release, right? So can they directly modify the code in the master? No, right? So they have to develop 10 new features, they have to fix these bugs, right? So they have to modify a lot of code, correct? So can they modify the code directly in the master? Here? No, they cannot modify the code and then submit the code in this particular master branch. So what do? They send us an email saying, hello DevOps team, please create a new branch for us. So what we do? So we take the existing code and then we kind of copy paste it, right? And then we create a new branch called dev123. See the name, right? So this is your release name. Next release is 1.2.3. Next, again, after that, 1.2.4, 1.2.5, and so on. So this copy is created for developing 1.2.3 release features. Think that this is 1.2.3 release. So what is the meaning of 1.2.3? Usually this is how people take it, okay? First digit represents that it is a major release. Second digit represents that it is a minor release. Third one means usually it's a bug fix release. Bug fix release. For example, you are developing a software. You are launching some application for the first time in the market. So your now application or software version will be 1.0.0. You can start with that. So 1 means what? First digit means it's a major release. It's a major release for you. Of course, first release is a major release. Then what happens? You work for a month, and then in a month you develop some new features for your software, and then you also fixed some issues. Assume it's called as a minor release. Minor means, remember, if you are giving a few new features and then few bug fixes, you call that as a minor release. So it's a minor release for you. So what people do, second digit represents the minor one, right? So earlier it was 1.0.0. Now, since it's a minor, they will increase this second digit and then 0. Don't think too much about this. Then, again, after you take some, 1 month, and there are some issues in this particular, software release, right? And this time you are releasing the new version of your software only with bug fixes. Only with bug fixes. That means you have to, people usually increment the third digit. Now it becomes 1.1.1. See, the moment second digit, increased, bumped up by 1, your users think that, okay, it's a minor release. Minor release means people know few bug fixes and then few new features. Assume that you incremented the third digit, means they know that, okay, it's a bug fix release. Now say, your product is going through a lot of architectural changes, right? And you want to integrate AI, artificial intelligence, in our, application. Maybe in Flipkart, support system, they want to integrate some AI chatbots without any manual presence. It will take care of the customer queries, say, for example. So that means your software is going through a lot of, architectural changes. You are giving, a lot of value addition to your, customers, right? So it will become a major release for you. Something, drastically, you have some drastical changes. It's a major release for your customers. It has a lot of, architectural changes and then features. So it's a major release for you. If it is a major, which number we increment? First one, right? Now it will become 2.0.0. So because it's a major, the moment your customers see that, your software version is 2, they think that, okay, something major, they get it. So that's how usually we understand the release names. Again, this is not the standard process. Different companies follow different versions. Okay. So when these people meet in a conference, right? They all discuss what needs to be developed in next 2 months, and then they also fix the release name. 1.2.3 release it is. And then, so once they finish all these things, then they send one email saying, okay, please create a new branch for us, because people cannot modify directly here. Please get a new branch for us. So what we do, we get a duplicate copy and then we give some name for that. So what's the name here? Dev 123. That means this particular copy is created for development 1.2.3 features and bug fixes. So this is, this branch naming convention can be different. Branch naming convention can be different. Remember that. Different companies follow different branch naming conventions. It should not be always, Dev 1 to 3. Sometimes people say release 1.2.3. Sometimes people have river names, mountain names, and things like that in the branch names. So it can be anything. When you join in the project, you'll understand, or somebody will explain what kind of naming convention, what kind of names they are using for their branches. That's how we work. And then now we have to create a branch, right? So once we create the branch, then developers will start committing their code in that new branch. So who creates a new branch? It's always DevOps team. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, I create a new branch. See, this is my new branch. So this branch is created from master. That means it's exactly the duplicate of master. Whatever you have, whatever code you have in the master, same thing you get in your dev 1, 2, 3. This is your dev 1.2.3 branch. That's all. So once the branch is created, then you send one email to all your dev 1 and Q team saying, new branch has been created with the name dev123. Please start committing your 1.2.3 release code. Whoever is working on 1.2.3 release, you can commit your code to this particular branch. Then all users, for example, Harry, clones the repository. Correct. When Harry clones the repository, what will happen now? Harry will get master branch as well as dev123 branch, right? So this is your dev 1.2.3 branch. So if you have 10,000 files here, you get 10,000 files. And then what Harry will do? Harry will use some command. Okay? For example, if you use a command called git checkout, it will give the code from this folder, this copy, this login.java, not this one. Okay. So Harry will modify this login.java. Harry will add it to the stage, and then Harry will commit it. So you have the new change here. When Harry pushes the code, same code comes to 1, 2, 3 here. Similarly, all these users commit the code into where they are all working in 1.2.3. Okay. So once they complete their release work, right? Once they complete their release work, so they need to, they distribute the features. Okay. Maybe if you have, say 30 developers, few developers will take, bug fixes, few developers will work on bug fixes and so on, features, bug fixes, and so on. So they work like this for 2 months. They work like this for 2 months. And once, their development is done, what do? They merge the code back to master. So we have 10 features and then 20 bug fixes code in dev 1 to 3, correct? So we merge the code. Again, who merges the code? DevOps team. We will learn that later. Okay. So we merge the code. Then what happens? Whatever extra code you have here about of your 1, 2, 3 release, it will be merged to the master. So what we're doing here, whenever we want to work on the new release, right? We are going off of master. That means we are getting a new copy of master, right? We are doing our work here. We are testing the code. And then once testing is done, then we merge the code back to the master. So that's how master always gets a stable code. So that's when usually we create the new branches. Understand this? Any questions you have about this? 1 second. Any questions? Okay. So let's see. 1 second. Okay, let's see different branching models. Okay. I'm just thinking, okay, should we create the branch first and then discuss that later or now itself? Fine. Let me show you how we create the branches. Okay. Understand the branching concept? Any questions you have? Right. Now, these people completed this release plan meeting, correct? And they are asking us to create a new branch. This one, we have to create a new branch. How do you create this new branch? Let's see this one. Okay, I'm explaining new branch creation. This is how you create a new branch. Okay, again, fine. Let me show that to you here only. Let me go to the default branch first. This is what you have, right? So you have remote repository, right? There is a default branch called master, correct? The moment we create a remote repository, there will be a master first. Think branch as a folder, correct? Let me just show you this first. Go to our branch. Let me remove this. I don't have anything here. I'm cloning the new repository. Git clone. Okay. So this is our repository. ls-a git status. You see this? We don't have any extra branches. Okay. We have only master. See, it says first line on branch master. That means what? You have the code from master branch. Remember? Assume that you have only master branch. Okay. Now you are cloning the code. So by default, it will give you the code from the master branch here. So this is master branch code. That's what it is. On branch master. So in master, you have three files: Jenkins, login, pom.xml file. Jenkins, login, and then pom.xml file. Three files we have. Jenkins, login, and then pom.xml file. So you'll get three files here: pom.xml file, login, Jenkins, pom.xml file, login, Jenkins. That's what you see here. That's what we have so far. Okay. Now, or you can use this command, okay? Git branch will tell you have the code in the source area, right? This is source area, correct? So if you want to see from which branch you have the code in your source area, what is the command we use? Git branch. Here it is shown as star and green color. Star green color means currently you have this code from this branch. That means you have three files here in the source area. These three files. These three files are from master branch or from other branch. That's a thing, right? So if you want to modify something in dev123, you have to first make sure that, okay, you have the code from dev123 copy, correct? So how do you check that? Dev, how do you check that? Git branch. Fine. I'm going to create a new branch now. This is my code. I'm currently on which branch? Master branch. That means this code is from master branch. Done. Whatever you have here, you have the code from the master branch. Okay. So now we want to create a new branch, right? So who creates a new branch? It's a DevOps engineer. So we first create the branch in the local repository. See, you can directly create the repository. Sorry, you can directly create the branch in the remote repository also. You can directly create the branch in the remote repository also. Okay. But sometimes, we create the branch from the laptop, right, locally. So if you have to create a branch, you first create a branch locally here. Okay. Where from master, you create a new branch in your laptop. This is your dev 1.2.3. Let's see how you create this branch. Okay. This is how I create a new branch. Git branch. Make sure that you're on master. Okay. You're on the master. So this is master. Now I want to create a duplicate copy of master, right? See what I do. You want to create a new branch, just use this command, git branch name. Git branch name. That's how you create a new branch. It's just that simple. Okay. Enter. Now the branch is created. Git branch. Now you have two branches. Earlier, you're having only one branch, master. Now you have another branch called dev123. Master dev123. That's how you create a new branch. Dev1.2.3. New branch is created. Now whatever code you have here, everything gets copied in dev123. It is just that simple. Now you see here, master is shown in green color, and then there is a star mark there. Correct? Means what? See, git branch. How many branches we have? Two branches. One is master, one is dev123. And it says green color star means currently whatever code you have in your source area, this code is from master branch. If this is in green color, that means you have to assume that okay, this code is from dev123 branch. When you want to particularly modify the code in a particular, when you want to particularly modify the code in a branch, you should first know, right, from which branch you have the source code. Correct? Right. So once the branch is created, where is this branch located now? This is still in our laptop. This is still in our laptop. Okay. Now you have to push it to the remote repository. So once the branch is created, you just push it to the remote repository. Now you see another branch here. What is this? Dev 1.2.3. So you can create the branch in your local repository, right? And then you push it. So once you push it, what will happen? It will be created in the remote repository, and then and then onwards, if anybody clones the repository, they get two branches. Okay, done. So how do you push it to the new? How do you push it to the remote repository? Git push origin, and then you have to give your branch name. That is a command. Okay. You have a new branch here, dev123. If you want to push it to the remote repository, you just say git push branch name, and then you have to give origin. Origin means remote repository. Remember this way. Okay. Hello Git, please push this particular branch 123 to remote repository. Origin means what? Remote repository. Now, if I execute this command, same branch will be created in the remote repository. Clear with that? Any questions here so far? Now you can go to remote repository and then you can check it out. So I'm going to GitHub. This is our repository, faculty63. Now you see here, you have two branches. One is master. This is master code. These three files are in the master. There is one more branch here, dev123. If you click on this dev123, it will show you dev123 code. So dev123 also has dev123 branch. Dev123 also has three files, login, Jenkins, pom.xml file, and so on. So you have two branches here. Clear with this now? Any questions about creating the new branch?
Can we push it without the file name?
Without file name? Where is file name?
Yes.
You mean without branch name?
Yeah, without branch name.
No, I think you have to give the branch name. You have to give.
Okay.
Because you may need, you may have multiple branches, right? So I think you have to give the branch name for sure. Let me open the class notes. So this is how you list all the branches, okay? Git branch, and then this is how you create a new branch. This is how you push your new branch to remote repository. Clear these three comments with these three comments. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. So as a DevOps engineer, you created a new branch, right? There is a new branch in the remote repository now, correct? There is a new branch in the remote repository, assume. Who created this new branch? DevOps engineer. Okay. This is your new branch. So how you create a branch? You have to create a branch on your laptop and then you push it. So now assume remote repository has two branches now. Okay. So whenever these teams want to work on the new release, they send you an email saying, hello DevOps engineer, please create a new branch for us. You know how to create a new branch. Now in your remote repository, you have two branches. So here you have format.html file, login.java, Jenkins. Okay. Right. Now assume that Sally wants to work on 1, 2, 3 now. Okay. You created the branch and then you sent one email to all your team members saying, branch is created. You can start working on your new release. Right. Now Sally is working on this 1.2.3 release. So what Sally will do? Sally will clone the repository. When Sally clones the repository, since remote repository has two branches, she will get two branches, correct? Right. So there is a new branch here. So Sally also will get a new branch here with these three fields. And remember, Sally has to clone the code first. And once she clones the code, remember, by default, master will give you code from, by default, once you clone the repository, Git will show you the code from master branch in your source area. Clear? Let's see. As much time as Sally. Let's, verify it. I don't have anything here. Git clone. Okay. Right. I'm cloning the repository. Git status. Git branch. Can somebody tell me from which repository I have this code? Sorry. This code is from the which branch? This code is from which branch?
Master.
Master. How do you know that this code is from the master branch?
By comment like Git branch.
Yeah. So here, if you see green color star means this is from the master branch. Okay, you'll understand that later. Leave it for now. Right. And we also know this, right? So by default, it will show you the code from the master branch. Done. But is it showing other branch? No. But we have two branches, right? How many branches we have in the remote repository? Two branches. Is it showing both the branches for Sally? No. It's supposed to show, right? Correct? See, you're cloning the repository means you have everything here, right? Correct? Yes. In your local laptop, you have both the branches, actually. Both the branches, yes. Both branches are there. But remember, Git is not showing you this dev123 branch. Git is not showing you this branch name, because in real time, you'll be having, hundreds of branches. How many branches? Hundreds of branches. So just for your convenience, it will not show you all the branches. 1 second. Let me just ask ChatGPT once. They may be having a different reason. That's how it's a no, architecture. They don't want to show it. I'll give you no. I'll give the simple thing to understand. Don't worry. See this. All remote branches will exist locally. Okay. So Sally, right, clone this repository. Remote repository. Inside the remote repository, you have two branches, right? One is master, one is dev123, right? But is it showing dev123? No, it's not showing. It should show, right? It's not showing. Why? See this. It says, yes, when you clone a repository, Git only, yes, it has to show, but just all other remote branches will exist locally. It says, yes, you will get local branches. That means when Sally clones a repository, Sally will get these two branches. Yes, here it will get two branches are there, but it is not showing you just for your convenience. That's all. Okay. 1 second. Okay. See this. This is how you have to remember this. Okay. I have two branches in remote repository. Yes. Sally wants to work on day 1 2 3, right? So Sally clones the repository. We know that. When Sally clones the repository, whatever code, whatever branches, are present in the remote repository, everything should come. Yes. Remember, assume that these two branches come here in Sally's laptop. Yes. But what's the thing here? It is not showing you, but it is there. It is there in your laptop, but it's not showing you, right? Because in real time, you may be having hundreds of branches, right? In real time, you may be having hundreds of branches here. hundreds of branches. So it has the branch, it'll bring everything, but unless you tell, it'll not fetch the code. Got the point? It'll have the branches. Say, no, you have the dummy branches. You have 100 branches here. You have all 100 branches. All 100 branches. Right? Unless you say that, I want to work with this, it'll not show you. It'll not fetch the actual code. But it's kind of virtually you have, all the branches. If that is difficult for you to understand, just remember this, that's totally fine, okay? So when I clone the code, I get all the branches, but Git won't show you all the branches by default. Git will show you only active branches. Remember this wet list. Git will show you only active branches. Active branches means branches that you worked with, branches that you are interested in. So if Sally wants to work on day 1, 2, 3, if Sally wants to work on day 1 to 3, Sally has to run this command, okay? Git checkout day 1, 2, 3. Very simple. Sally first clones the repository. By default, Git shows the code from the master branch, right? But Sally wants to work on which branch? Day 1 to 3. So how Sally takes the code from day 1 to 3? Sally will run that command. Sally will run this command called git checkout. So if you run this checkout command what will happen? Git will show you these 3 files. Files from day 1 to 3. These files are from 1 to 3 now. See, I am taking the code from day 1 to 3 branch. Enter. Git branch. Now you see which branch code I have here. Can somebody tell me? This code is from the which branch?
Dev 1 to 3.
How do you know that this code is from the day 1 to 3? Now you have switched, right? But after 2-3 days, if you want to see, right, which branch code you have in your source area, what do? How do you check?
Git branch.
Git branch. Now you see. Run git branch command. Which branch is highlighted in green color? Day 1 to 3. So that means you have code from day 1 to 3. See, I have something like this, okay? I have some code in the source area. I don't know from which branch, this code is. So what command I run? Git branch. Okay. Day 1 to 3. Star green color means, okay, this code is from. So if you see master, that means this code is from the master branch. It is just that simple. Now you see, after running this command, git checkout day 1 to 3, it started showing you two branches, correct? Earlier it was showing only one. So remember, git branch shows you only active branches. Active branches means branches that you are working with. So now I have activated this branch, correct? That means I have taken the code from day 1 to 3 branch. From this time onwards, it will show you. You may be having 100 other branches. Is it showing all 100? If it shows all 100, probably it is inconvenient for you, right? You're not interested in all 100 branches or 200 branches. No, I'm not interested. So I'm interested in only this. So the moment I run git checkout command, after that, it'll start showing me. That means what? This branch is active now. So git branch shows active branches only. So first time when you clone the repository, it will show you only the master branch. And from now on, whatever branches you work with, right? That means assume that you checked out 1, 2, 3 once, and from then on it will start showing you because you are interested in this. So it will show you that branch. It will not show you all other branches. It's not required. Remember that. Clear now with this? Okay, so now we have taken the code from 1 to, it's very simple. If you want to work with this, take the code from here, modify, commit, it will go here. If you want to commit something in this branch, take the code from master, modify, do it. So what we do, we are switching the code between different branches. In source area, you can take the code from here or here. It is just that simple. So I have some code in my source area. This code is from dev123 branch, right? If I modify something or do some work here and then commit, where it will go? It will go to dev123, correct? Let's create a new file here. Say, remember, I'm in 123 now. I'm creating a new file, okay? Say, for example, I'll call it as ansible.txt, something like that. I'm writing some code, okay? Git branch. So there is a ansible.txt git status. It's modified. So I'm on which branch? 123, right? Correct. So in my source, this source array is from 123 branch, right? So I have a new file called ansible.txt. So when I commit it now, I've created a new branch, sorry, new file. I'll add it to the stage. I'll commit it. It will go to dev123 branch. When I push, it will go to dev123 branch only. And our intention is to modify the code in 123 branch only, correct? Right? So let's see that. Git add Ansible, okay? Git status, it is in the stage, correct? Git commit -m, then you say dev 1.2.3 branch code, something like that. Git push. So this ansible.txt is pushed to remote dev 123. Okay, done. Let's say git branch. So this in the source code, which branch code I have? Which branch code it is? dev123. Now you tell me, if I switch to master, will there be this file? If I take the code from the master, in master branch, do you see ansible.txt? Yes?
No, sir.
No. We created the branch. That's the thing, right? We want to isolate the code, correct? We want to, separate the code, correct? Let me switch to master now. How do you switch from one branch to another branch? Check out. Now, I'll ask Git to give me the code from this branch. Okay, see this? Which branch is active now? Master, red color, sorry, green color, right? So which branch code I have in my source area now? Master. Do you see? Git branch. Do you see ansible.txt here? No. See, that means what? That's a proof saying if I take the code from one branch and then if I do something here and then commit, it will go to that branch only. And that is the thing, right? That's the branching concept, right? We don't want to work here. So we want to take a duplicate copy, 123 branch. We want to do all our work here for 2 months, right? It's a 2 months release sale. Now, let me modify something. Now I have taken the code from master branch. Okay. So how do you switch from one branch to another branch? Git checkout master, git checkout 123. So this is master code. Let me create one file here. I'll call it as master.txt. Git add master, git commit -m. So since you are on the master now, right? If you do any change and commit, it will go to the master. Say master file. Okay. Git push. So git branch lsfna. Now in master I have master.txt. Now if I switch to dev123, do you see master.txt there? No, right? See this git branch. Okay. I'm on dev123. Have you seen dev123 code? In dev123, that master.txt is not there. Means what? If you are committing something to master, it will be in that branch only. If you are committing in dev123, it will be in that branch only. So that's how developers commit the code into particular branch. You are a DevOps engineer, right? You also work on some automation code, right? So if you want to commit something to 123, what do you do as a DevOps engineer? Clone git checkout, modify, git add, git commit, git push. It's just that simple. Okay. So git branch will show you active branches. This is how you create a new branch. Push new branch to the remote repository once it is created. If you want to switch from one branch to another branch, use this command, git checkout day 1, 2, 3. That's how you switch from one branch to another branch. Any questions so far? Can we rename the branch name? Yes, you can rename. I'll give the command for that. So after the class, right, keep these notes in front of you, practice. Okay. So once you practice this, you will be able to remember. Say this. So if you remember, right, say I have two branches, say for example. How did we create a new branch? Git branch and then branch name, right? 1, 2, 4. I'm creating a new branch. I'm creating a new branch, okay? Git branch 1, 2, 4. If there is a new branch here, 1, 2, 4. One more point here. You have to be very careful with one thing when you create a new branch. This is how you created a new branch, right? When you create a new branch, okay, you have to first check whether you are currently sitting on day 1, 2, 3 or master branch. If you see here, green color means currently I'm sitting on which branch? Day 1, 2, 3. Take the literal meaning of it. You have two branches, tree branch, two branches. This is one branch, this is another branch. Correct? Now I'm creating a new branch. So if you are sitting on this particular branch and then create a new branch, this will be created under this branch. See this. You have master branch, and then you have day 1, 2, 3. Right? We want to create new branch from the master, correct? Correct. If you are sitting on day 1, 2, 3, and then if you create a new branch will be created under day 1, 2, 3. It's not the case. We want to create a new branch from master, correct? If you want to create a new branch from master, you have to make sure that you are on master branch. Okay. So I've done some mistake here. And let me remove it. Okay. Git rm git branch -d day 1, 2, 4. Don't worry about the command now. Git branch. So I have two branches. Now, assume that I want to create a new branch, right? So I want to create a new branch from master, correct? So I have to make sure that I'm on master first. So how do you do that? Git checkout master, git branch. You are sitting on which branch now? This code is from which branch? Master. Make sure that master is active. Okay. Now you can create a new branch. I'm going to create a new branch. Git branch dev 1, 2, 4. I'm getting a new branch. So this branch is created from master. That's how I get a new branch. And you see here, git branch command, only one note. When you create a new branch like this, make sure that master is active. Make sure that you are sitting on the master, because we want to create the branch from master. That is one note, leave it. Now we see, I created a new branch. Okay. But is it switching to the new branch? No. This command will just create a new branch, that's all. If you want to create a new branch and switch to that automatically, okay, you can use this branch. You can use this command, okay, sorry. 1, 2, 5. I want to create a new branch. This will just create a branch. It is not switching to it, correct? I want to create a new branch and then switch to that. That means I want to create this particular branch. I want to see the code. In that case, two things, right? Git branch name will create a new branch. And if it's a checkout, it will switch to that. I'm just combining those two branches, okay? Two commands, sorry. It's not branch. Go to say -b. So what this command will do? Interview question. How do you create a new branch and see the code from the new branch? How do you create a new branch and then switch to that branch automatically? Git branch name, that will create a new branch. And then if it's a checkout, it'll automatically switch to that. See this? See? This created a new branch and then automatically it is showing you the code from this branch. Here, switch to that. That means it is showing you green color means you have the code from that particular branch. This is just for interview purpose. In real time, this is not very important, okay? Creating and switching to a new branch, newly created branch. That's how you do that. Clear with that? Any questions? Okay. So you have two branches in remote repository. You have two branches in remote repository. 1, 2, right? Sally wants to work on which branch? Day 1, 2, 3. So what Sally has to do first? Sally will first clone the code. And then it will bring two branches here. Day 1, 2, 3. And by default, it will show the code from which branch? Tell me guys. It will show the code from the master branch, correct? If Sally wants to work on day 1 to 3, what she has to do? She has to run another command, right? What's that command she has to run? Git checkout day 1 to 3. So after checkout command only, she can see the code, correct? So clone, after clone, she has to again run this command. Now Sally comes and says, hello DevOps engineer, at the time of cloning the code, can I tell that, show me the code from day 1 to 3 by default? Yes, you can do that. See this. Sally doesn't have anything, okay? Git clone 1, 2, 3. So if you run this command, what will happen by default? It will show you the code from master, right? But Sally knows that she wants to work on day 1 to 3. So at the time of clone, you can, specify the branch if you want to see the code from a specific branch. See this? Sally wants to by default see the code from which branch? Day 1 to 3 -b branch name. Now you see, go to faculty, right? So this code is from the which branch? This code is from which branch? Can somebody tell me? Day 1, 2, 3. So at the time of clone also, you can specify if you want to, you can specify the branch name like this. So what it will do? By default, if you clone, it will show you the code from one master branch. Anyway, you are sure that you want to work on day 1 to 3. So what, instead of again switching to that new branch, what you can do? At the time of clone, you just give that -v branch name. What will happen? It will clone the code and then it will show you the code from 1 to 3 by default. So if you want to do that, you can also run this command -b. Interview question. At the time of cloning the code, right? Can I mention a particular branch name? Or they ask, I have two branches in the remote repository, right? I don't want to see master code by default. The moment clone happens, I want to see a code from a particular branch. How do I do that? Just say -b. So what will happen? It will show you the code from 1 to 4 branch. It's just that, you don't have to run a checkout command again. Okay. So you can directly clone and then you can see the code here. And master is not there here, correct? Master is not shown because you never work with master, right? And if you want to see the master, just run this command, git checkout master. Now you have the code from which branch? Master. If you want to switch to the day 1 to 3, if you want to work with day 1 to 3, git checkout day 1 to 3. This is from green color. This code is from day 1 to 3. See how you are switching from one branch to another branch. It is just that you can run that checkout command, any number of times. So only one thing is when you modify the code, you have to make sure that which branch code you are modifying. That you can check with this green color symbol. Okay. So assume that I'm cloning the repository. Okay. Git clone. Let me take master only, by that's the default branch. Git branch. So this code is from master branch. Yes. What if I want to see all branches available in remote repository? You understand my question? I want to list all branches that you have in the remote repository. All branches. If you have 100 branches, I want to list all 100 branches. Is Git branch listing all the branches? No, right? Git branch lists only the branches you work with. Work with in the sense, like if you do Git checkout once, from then it will show you. But what if I want to see all the branches that you have in the remote repository? Very simple. Just say -r remote. That means ignore the first line. Here it says in the remote repository you have 1, 2, 3, and then master. See, Git branch will show you the active branches, right? That active branches means branches which I logged into, correct? Branches which I checked out, correct? If you want to list all the branches, list the branches in the remote repository with this -r. So it'll here origin means remote repository. Origin means remote repository. Now remote repository have 2 branches. So Git branch will show you only active branches that you work with. If you want to list all branches in the repository, use -r. This will list all. Clear with -r option. Any questions? Take 1 day time. Okay. Practice all these commands tomorrow after the class, right? If you have any small confusion, feel free to ask me. I'm okay to spend, maybe whole class just for the doubt clarification also. Okay. So I'm not, you know me, right? If I want to finish a topic, I can finish, half an hour discussion in 10 minutes or 15 minutes also. No. And I'm sure you only, or you only feel sometimes that I'm dragging the discussion. Correct? I do that. I never come with a time, bound. I won't, take the class in, time bound manner. So I don't, mind in stretching the class for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months also. That's how I work. Right. So in most of the cases, right, 45 hours class means 45 hours no matter what, they close the batch. So here that doesn't happen. It won't happen here. Okay. So what I mean to say is, if you have anything, any small confusion, raise your hand, ask me. And as I said, we're all here for learning, right? We all know that you are from the non-technical background, you are from non-computer science background, you are, from a BSc maths background. We know all that stuff. So feel free to ask the questions. But before you ask, practice. Even after practice, if you don't get something, then ask me. Or your wish. Even without practice, also, if you ask me, I'm fine. It's not that, if you go to college, right, without proper preparation, if you ask a question, usually teachers get angry saying, it's a small thing, and then if you had practiced, you would never, you would not have asked this question. You first practice, learn, and then ask me the question. That's what you hear usually in schools, colleges, correct? You are not kids, and this is not that place. This learning place is different, right? Without practice also, even if you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with that, because you may be busy with your work, right? Or you may be having a lot of other things. I totally understand it. So only thing here is you have full freedom. You can ask me any simple question. Anything is totally fine for me. Okay. But make sure that you are progressing, right? You're taking the DevOps knowledge progressively without much confusion. That's very important for me. Okay. One last command I want to finish, then I'll take your questions. I want to work with the day 1 to 3. So what do? Git checkout day 1 to 3. Git branch. Git branch. Now I have two branches. So we know how to create the branch. What if you want to delete a branch? Question, right? What if you want to delete a branch? So usually in real time, we don't delete the branch. No. So Flipkart team wants to work on new release, correct? They ask you to create a new branch. You know how to create a new branch, correct? You know how to switch from one branch to another branch also. If you understand these two things, I'm fine. And then what we do, we test the code from this particular branch, and then after so we work here for all our developers commit the code into this branch. You know how to now commit the code to dev 1 to 3, right? Git checkout 1 to 3, and then you start committing it. So everybody works like that for 2 months. Once they are done with their work, then one day, of course, testing happens every day. So once everything is tested, then we merge the code from 1 to 3 to master. We do that, right? So I'll explain merge process later. So once the code is merged to the master, can you delete this branch? You can delete, but usually we don't delete. We don't usually delete because branches are cheap copies in Git. Branches are cheap copies. Means if this master branch size is 5 GB, for example, if this has 5 GB code, we are getting a duplicate branch, right? It should have 5 GB, correct? It won't take 5 GB. No. Git efficiently manages the storage internally. So if it is 5 GB, it will not again allocate 5 GB storage for this. No. So that is the reason you don't need to worry about the storage, and you don't need to delete the branch, right? Because you have done some work, right? So just leave it. That's all. Usually we don't delete the branch, but in case if you want to delete the branch, there is a command for it. If you want to delete the branch, how do you create a new branch? Git branch name, correct? If you want to delete the branch, just add -d, D for delete. Cannot delete the branch 1, 2, 3 because why? Why it is unable to delete the branch? You are sitting on a branch. You are cutting the branch where you are sitting. You will fall down, right? Since you are already on this branch, it is not allowing you to delete. So if you want to delete the branch, go to another branch. Okay, sit on another branch. I am on master now. Now I can delete it. 1, 2, 3. Deleted. Git branch. See, there is no branch. And it is deleted in local laptop only. Okay. So you deleted the branch here. Now, if you push, what will happen? That will be deleted in the remote repository. From there, it will not show that branch to anybody. Okay. So if you want to push the branch, what is the command we use? Git push origin and then branch name, right? Dev 1, 2, 3. This is how you push a newly created branch. Now I am pushing it for the deletion, right? I will just start -d. So that branch will be pushed to the remote repository. Now, if you go to remote repository, you will not see that branch. Earlier there was dev 1, 2, 3. Here, I'll just refresh it now. See, there is master here. Then you don't see other branches. That's how you delete a branch. If you want to list all the branches, -r. If you want to delete the branch, these are the commands you have. Git branch -d delete, git push origin, hello git, please push this branch to the origin to remote repository for deletion -d. If you want to create, this is how you create a new branch. This is how you push a new branch to the remote repository. If you want to delete, just say -d here, -d here. That's all. If you don't give -d, it will create the dev123 branch. It will push the new branch to the remote repository, correct? If you want to delete it, -d here, -d here. That's all. So these are all the branch management commands. Tomorrow, I'll give few more details about the branches, how exactly people work on a release and collaborations and things like that. So then we'll go to merging. Tomorrow you will get little more extra information about the branches. So keep the notes in front of you and then practice. Okay. Can we see Git branch via Git log? What do you want to do, Rajnish? Exactly. Can you elaborate your question?
Like, can I view the branch name via git log command?
It's not very straightforward.
Like, I was like typing git
Ask
log,
this
so
question
it.
tomorrow. I'll
Okay, sir.
show you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
I have to start another batch now.
Okay, sir. Okay, sure.
Okay. If you have any quick question, you can ask me or note down all your questions and you can ask me in tomorrow's class. Practice this before coming to the tomorrow class. See, if it's a 1 hour class or 1 hour class, hardly it takes 20 minutes or 30 minutes for you to practice. If you are not spending even the 30 minutes to revise, what you learned in previous class, then you decide why you have joined the course, correct? You must be having some target, right? I want to join in software, I want to upskill, I want to learn something, I want to master something and things like that. So if you're not even spending on 30 minutes for revising, then it's a question for yourself, right? So you only assess yourself. Okay, thank you. Thanks for listening to me. Good night, everybody.